Hello friends, today in this tutorial we will be building a complete Node.js Express application where we will be displaying the YouTube channels that a user has subscribed to. This is the application. If I click login here, so this will be prompting me to select the Google account. If I select this account here, then it will display the YouTube channel which is associated with this channel. So this is the my channel coding Shiksha, and if I select this channel, and then it will display all the YouTube channel that I am subscribed to. So you can see that this is an image, and if you just click on any of the channel here, it will display its full channel URL, and here you can just check out the channel as well. So it will display the home page. You can see that of a channel, this home, videos, playlist, all that stuff. So this is valid for every channel. You can just click it and you will be redirected to the channel page ID. Here you can see that. So on per page we are displaying 50 channels per page. You can display 100 channels, and all the source code of this application is given in the video description. So this is a GitHub repository. You can just download this repository and follow along with this tutorial. So there is a package.json file inside this. So if you open this file, you will see the dependencies that we are using. We are using cookie parser, EJS, Express, Google Auth library, Google APIs, JSON Web Token, and NodeMon. So let's start building this application from scratch. So now to get started, just go to desktop here and create a new folder, and just name your folder as YouTube Auth. And after that, just open this folder inside your command line. And first of all, we need to make the package.json file and just execute this command npm init-y. So you should be having Node installed onto your computer before following on. And after that, clear this. And now we will be installing the dependencies. So first dependency we will need is this cookie parser. So just write here npm install cookie parser. This next will be EJS. So this is a template engine for rendering out HTML in Node.js application. Next will be Express. This will be our server for this tutorial. Next will be the Google Auth library. So this is the authentication library. The next will be Google API. So basically, with the help of this library, we will be calling the YouTube API to be rendering out the subscription list. And then we will be also be having JSON Web Token. So this is also responsible for authentication. And one last dependency will be NodeMon. So basically this will restart the server when we make any kind of change. Enter it. So this will take some time because these are some dependencies that need to be installed. So I will be back whenever these dependencies are installed. Now you can see that, guys, all these dependencies are installed here. And now we just need to open our Visual Studio Code text editor inside this folder. So if you open this folder, you will see that there is a package.json file will be there, and there will be a node modules folder. Inside this there will be all the dependency which will be present, which we have downloaded here. You can see that, which are listed out in the dependency section: cookie parser, EJS, Express, all this stuff. And now we just need to have our index.js file which we want to create. This is listed out inside this here, this index.js. We need to create this file. Let me just go out of this folder, which is node modules, create this file index.js. The very first thing we need to do here is that, let me just zoom in. So we need to first of all import Express. We need to require it, and then we just need to make a simple Express app like this. Declare an app variable and initialize Express function, and then we can just listen on a particular port number, which is 5000. This takes a callback function, arrow function, and inside this we can just print out on the console that app is listening on port 5000, like this. And we can even go just configure a test route, app.get. So when we go to a home route, we will be having our request and response. This will be again arrow function, and here we can just response dot send. We can send a response hello world. And now in order to execute this, we can go to command prompt, and now we can just execute this command node-mod index.js. If you enter it, you will see that app is listening on port 5000. Now if I go to the browser and if I type here localhost 5000, this is our app hello world. You can see that. Now we just need to require some more dependency which we have installed here. But before that, we need to first of all make a separate configuration file for our project. So just make a configuration file config.js. So inside this file we will be storing the client ID, client secret, all that stuff we will be requiring. So let me just first of all store the port number on which our application will be running. So this will be 5000 like this. And the second information we need to store is the base URL. So base URL will be equal to, let me just write in back symbol, http localhost, and then followed by the port numbers. After colon here we can just embed variables here, dollar at set of curly brackets, and then we can pass the port variable like this. So basically if you want to change the port number, you will be changing the port number at one place, and all that changes will take place. So after that, we also need to create a client ID and client secret. For that you need to go to Google Developer Console. So if you are working with Google APIs, you need to create some kind of authentication. So for that you need to create a new project inside Google Developer Console. I have already done that. So after creating a new project, just go to credentials, and then you will be creating a new client ID. So just click this plus icon, create credentials, and then select OAuth client ID. And then it will ask some questions to you. This is a web application, I will select this. And then it will be asking the authorized JavaScript origins. Here you just need to provide, we are developing locally, so we will provide here http://localhost. That's it. And in the second option, authorized redirect URI. So this is basically where will be the Google API will go whenever you redirect. So we will be mentioning this URL http localhost, port number is 5000, and then OAuth to callback. So basically OAuth to callbacks, you need to select this endpoint very carefully, because you need to match this endpoint that you are giving here. So after giving your redirect URI, just click on create. So basically this will create the client ID, client secret for you. Click on OK. We just need to download a file that it will generate. So basically if you just drag down, so now this will have a download option like this. Click the download. So it will download this file onto your local system. Now I need to go to this. So here we will be cutting this file and going to our project folder and pasting this file here, and also rename this as keys.json like this. And now we just need to include this file. So const keys require keys.json like this. So after including this file, we can get the client ID, client secret. And now we just need to export this file also. So module.exports. So this is the object. So inside this object, the first property will be JWT secret. So this stands for the dependency that we have installed here, JSON web token secret. So we just need to provide a secret. So our secret will be my secret, comma, And then we just need to create our credentials object. So this will be OAuth to credentials, OAuth to credentials, like this. So this will be object, put a colon and a set of curly brackets. So inside this, the first property will be the client ID that you need to mention, client ID. So client ID, so if you just open this file which we have imported, this is keys.json. So if you open this file, you will see that this will contain the client ID, auth URI, token URI, auth provider. So this will be different for you, so don't copy mine. So in order to get our client ID, we can just write here, this is the object here. So we can just write keys.web.client ID like this, put a comma. And the second thing that we need is the project ID. So project ID will be equal to keys.web project ID, comma, auth URI. So this will be again keys.web.auth URI. Second, next will be token URI. So this will be again keys.web.token URI. So after this, we also need to provide auth provider. This is x509 cert URL. So this is a property, and this will be again equal to keys.web, like this. Sorry, this is auth provider. And the next property will be client secret. So just write here client secret. So this will be again equal to keys.web.client secret. And the last property will be the redirect URI. So basically just write here redirect URIs. So basically this will be an array. So if you have multiple redirect URIs, so here you will provide yours. So this will be keys.web, and let me just show you the structure here. So inside this, there is a property called as redirect URIs. This is an array here, so we need to fetch it in an array like structure. So keys.web dot redirect URIs, and we need to get the first element, so we will provide here 0 like this. Indexing start from 0 in programming, so that is why. And then we also need to provide the scopes as well. So because we are using the YouTube API, so we need to provide the scopes also. So this is an array because you can also provide multiple scopes as well. So for accessing the YouTube subscription list, this is a scope that we need to write here, https :YouTube googleapis.com /auth/youtube.read only. So basically we are only reading the data, we are not manipulating it. So this is a scope. So that's it. So this completes our config.js file, and now we just need to import this file inside our index.js. So before importing this file, guys, we also need to import these two properties, which is port number and base URL. So just inside this, we will be declaring this base URL property and initializing it to that, and put a comma and also pass this port number as well. So just after it, put a comma here. That's it. So this is the config.js file is complete. Now we just need to import this file inside index.js. We need to require this file ./config, and next we also need to import some dependencies that we have installed here. First is the Google APIs dependency. Just put dot here, Google. And also we need to import the two dependency, which was cookie parser, which we will be requiring this as a cookie parser, and also JSON web token. We need to require it JSON web token like this. And now we just need to use these middlewares. Once we initialize this app here, app.use cookie parser like this. And JSON web token we will be using later on when we get the data back from the API. And here we will be making a get request to the home route. Just declare delete this delete for now, and now we will be making a new OAuth client here. Just declare this variable OAuth client. So this will be equal to new OAuth2. So first of all, before this we need to create a variable which will be OAuth2, and we need to be equal to that google.auth.OAuth2. So we have made a client here, Google client here. We are using this library that we have imported here, Google APIs. And now inside this home route we just need to make a new constructor of this OAuth2. So inside this parentheses we need to pass three options: client ID, client secret, and the redirect URI. So for that we will be using this constant config, because all this information is present in inside this file here. So here we can just use config dot OAuth credentials dot, and client ID is there like this, and similarly we can pass our client secret as well. And lastly we need to pass the redirect URI, which is also there, redirect URIs. We need to pass the first element, so we will be passing the in square brackets, and we will write here 0 like this. So after initializing this OAuth client, we also need to make a login URL. So for that we need to declare a new variable which is login link. So now we will be using this OAuth2 client, and there is a method inside this of create generate OAuth URL. So inside this we need to pass some options here, so a set of curly brackets here. So inside this takes the first option as access type, so this is equal to offline, and the second option it takes is the scope, what kind of information that you want from the user. So we can get the scope by config dot OAuth credentials, and there is a property called as scopes, because inside this config.js we have declared this property scopes here, so it will get the scopes. And now we just need to pass this information to a file that we will create, that is index.ejs file. So after that we can just write here return response.render, and we just need to make this index.ejs file, and we will pass some data to it, which will be login link. So inside curly brackets we are passing this login link that we have generated. And now just create this file here, index.ejs file. So just give it a title of YouTube subscription list, and inside this just make a href tag here. So this will be equal to, this is a syntax in order to have the dynamic variable here. So just also close this percentage sign greater than sign, that's it. And now you can just give it a label that login with YouTube. And now if I save all these changes here, and now let me just see, there are no errors out there. So now if I go back to again this app, so it is saying to that no default engine was specified. So this is the error because we haven't specified EJS. So we need to specify the engine here. This is app.set. We can set the engine, view engine like this, view engine, and the second argument is EJS. So this needs to be going in quotes here like this, and the second will be app.set We need to also specify the folder in which all these files will be created, so we can just write here dir name. So this is a constant specifying the current directory name. So after making those changes, if I refresh the page now, you will see that a button will be there, login with YouTube. If I click this button, I will be redirected to the list of accounts here. So here I can just select any account. So this is the Coding Shiksha YouTube channel. I can just select this. So basically it will tell you that it cannot get this /OAuth2 callback. We need to create this route here. So just move on to this main.index.js, and right here just create this route, which is app.get OAuth2 callback. So basically this will contain the request and the response. So callback function, request, response. So here first of all we need to declare once again the OAuth client object. So new OAuth2. Again we need to pass these three things. So instead of wasting time, I can just copy paste all these things. So just paste this inside this, paste it, and now our client is ready. And now we just need to get the code here from the URL. So we need to write a simple if condition. If the request dot query dot error. So if any kind of error take place. So here in this step we are just getting the authorization code from the URL. So if it contains error, then we know that user didn't grant the permission. So in this case we just need to redirect the user to the home page. So response.redirect to the home page like this. And if the user has granted the permissions, in the else case we need to call the API. So in that we need to exchange this authorization code with the access token. So inside this OAuth2 client there is a method which is get token. So here we are getting this access token. So inside this, first of all we need to pass the code here, which is request.query.code, and this will be having the callback function. If any kind of error take place, or if all it is successful, then it will contain the access token. So we need to check for both scenarios. So first of all we will check for the error, if any kind of error take place. So in that case we can just return the user to the home page. Again return response.redirect to the home page. And if all is successful, then we can just set our access token inside our cookie. So response.cookie. So inside this we can just have JW2. JWT stands for JSON Web Token, and put a comma here, and then we can use JWT.sign method, and inside this we can just pass our token, access token, comma, and then we can just pass our config.jwt secret. So whatever secret that we have defined inside config.js for our JSON Web Tokens. So this is my secret. You can have your own secret. So that's it. So after setting this, we just need to return the user, return response.redirect, and we just need to go to a URL where we will be getting our subscription list. So here I can just define this route, subscription list. That's it. And now we just need to define this URL. So let me just show you if no errors will take place. No errors is taking place. Now if I again repeat this process, localhost 500, if I click login with YouTube, I need to select my account, Google account, and then I will select my YouTube channel, Coding Shiksha. And now you will see that it will get to this route here, subscription list. As it cannot just find the subscription list route, we need to define it. So just after this we will define this route here, app.get subscription underscore list route. So this will contain the request and the response. So inside this, first of all, we need to check for the access token if it is set inside our JSON web token or not. Request.cookies dot JWT. So if it is set, but if it is not set, we will be redirecting the user response.redirect to the home page like this. And if it is set, then we know that the user is a authenticated user. So in that scenario, we just need to make our OAuth client once again. So I can just copy paste it once again and paste it here. So this will get the client ID, client secret, and redirect URI. Now we just need to make a request to the API, YouTube API. So now we can use this OAuth2 client dot credentials, and we can just use a JSON web token dot verify method, and we can just pass our request dot cookies dot JWT like this, and also pass the secret as well, so which is located in config dot JWT secret. That's it. So this will verify the stuff for you by JSON web token, and after that we can call the API, call the YouTube API. So in order to call the API, we will declare a variable which will be const service. So inside this we can just write here google.youtube, and here we just need to specify the version name, which is version 3. So we are using YouTube data API version 3, and now we just need to get the user subscription list. So for getting the subscription list, we will be using the subscription method, service.subscription subscriptions. So inside this there is a list method also, dot list. So inside this we need to pass some options here. So the first option is the authorization client, auth client. So we will pass our authorization client, which is OAuth2 client here, put a comma, and the second option it takes is mine parameter. You need to provide this to true. The third parameter is the part. Part is also mandatory, so part will be equal to snippet comma content details. And the fourth parameter is maximum results, how many results that you want to display. So I will be displaying 50 results per page. That's it. So you can just change this value depending upon your application. And now this will return a promise. We need to handle this by .10. So it will contain a response here like this. So this is the arrow function, and inside this we can first of all console log the response here like this, and then we can just make a new file which will be return response.render. We can make a subscriptions file, and we can pass the data, which is the subscriptions variable, and inside this we can just pass response dot data dot items. So items is the array of subscriptions. So we are just passing this to this file here, which we will make here, subscriptions dot EJS. So here let me just make this file here, subscriptions dot EJS. So here I can just give it a title, YouTube subscriptions. So now we just need to just render out the subscription list here. So for that we need to just use some bootstrap for this. But let me just copy paste this here. This is a very 2-3 lines of code that we need to have is. So inside subscription.ejs you will see that we have given a container class of bootstrap, and we have a heading here, your subscriber list, and after that we are using this subscription.forEach because this is a array, so we are using for each loop. So this is a index variable subscription, and then we having a tag, it is anchor tag. We are using a target attribute to blank. href will be equal to https youtube.com/channel/ and then we are just embedding the channel ID. So by using subscription.snippet.resource_id.channel ID, and then we are using the channels image by using subscription.snippet.thumbnails.default.url. And now we just need to include the bootstrap CDN, so you can just include it like this. So source code is there inside video description, you can just all get the source code. And now the application is complete. So now if I reload the application, no error is there. If I again go to the process, log in with YouTube, if I select this account here, so you will see that all these channels are listed out here, the images are listed out, and they are clickable. If I click any of the channel, this channel will open a new tab and it will have all sort of information, the channel name, channel, banner image, videos, playlist, community, all that stuff. So inside the console also you will see that response is coming back from the API. So this response we are parsing it inside the application. So a total of 50 channels are displayed here, so you can change this value. So this was a short little application that we have made from in Node.js and Express using the YouTube Data API version 3. So in this tutorial we have looked the authorization part, how to authenticate using the Google account, and then use this information to communicate with the YouTube API. So thanks very much for watching this video.